A rising tide raises all boats. If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl, milk it. This girl right here is a box office attraction. And because of her box office attraction, it's generating more eyeballs to the WNBA product, therefore more revenue for the WNBA product.
But Uncle Casey is here to tell you the celebration is over. Reality is knocking on the door of the porta potty. The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours when Caitlin Clark is eliminated from the play.
Have you noticed how little attention the WNBA playoffs received this season without Caitlin Clark in the spotlight? If it felt like the postseason came and went without much buzz, you weren't the only one who noticed. The viewership numbers tell the story. Audience figures reportedly dropped from around 1.8 million to just 160,000 viewers, a dramatic fall that's difficult to overlook. That kind of decline naturally raises questions about what made such a significant difference.
Of a doubt, Caitlin Clark is a megastar. Caitlin Clark is a box office draw, while the rest of the WNBA, it is nothing but a polished turd. Caitlin Clark drew 3 million viewers tonight. Now, with that being said, ratings for Game 1 have got to be disappointing for Kat Engelbert in the WNBA front office. There were regular season games this season where Caitlin Clark drew more than 1.8.
This wasn't just a modest decline, it was a dramatic collapse. The sharp drop has sparked an even bigger conversation. Can the WNBA maintain its momentum without its biggest emerging star, Caitlin Clark? For many fans and analysts, that's the question dominating the discussion. If the league can't sustain the excitement and audience she helped generate, it could be dealing with a significant challenge moving forward.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years. Some people get famous on art. Not only is Caitlin Clark a catalyst, but the racial component and the underdog being picked on is a component.
Let's take a closer look at Caitlin Clark for a moment. She didn't simply arrive in the WNBA, she transformed the conversation around the league. Her impact has been remarkable, changing the game both on the court and in the way fans engage with women's basketball. And if you're enjoying this analysis and want to support the work that goes into creating videos like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support truly makes a difference and helps us continue bringing you more content. Thanks so much for watching and being part of the community.
Merchandising sales to new sponsorships to television ratings absolutely going through the roof to attendance to sellouts at basketball games to all-star games with record attendance both in person and on television. It is safe to say, North America, that the Caitlin Clark effect has taken over the
The Indiana Fever went from being a team that received little national attention to becoming legitimate playoff contenders, and much of that turnaround was credited to Clark's arrival. It's remarkable how quickly one player can change the direction of an entire franchise and put it in the national spotlight. What makes the situation even more concerning is what could happen without her. Many believe the league could struggle to maintain packed arenas and strong television audiences if its biggest attraction isn't on the court. That's the challenge now facing the WNBA as it looks to sustain the momentum it has built.
Same reason that I struggle to watch college basketball during the regular season. The quality of play in the WNBA, it's just not good. Maybe if they had 10 Caitlin Clark spread throughout the league, maybe it would be watchable then. Problem is, Caitlin Clark is one of one. More than likely, the WNBA, they won't see another Caitlin Clark in my lifetime.
It's almost like the excitement disappeared as soon as the main attraction was gone. That raises an important question. Has the WNBA become too dependent on a single superstar? And if so, what happens if that one player is no longer available? That's a conversation with major implications for the future of the league. Stay with us as we explore why this issue could shape the next chapter of women's basketball and what it means for the WNBA moving forward. Think back to when the Indiana Fever were rarely part of the national conversation. They were just another team trying to find their footing. Then everything changed. With the arrival of one transformational talent, the Fever quickly evolved into legitimate playoff contenders and became one of the league's biggest stories.
The ladies, not all, but some of the ladies in the WNBA are missing the point. And the point is, this girl right here is a box office attraction. And because of her box office attraction, it's generating more eyeballs to the W.
But the biggest story goes beyond the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark's influence isn't limited to improving one franchise. She's changing the way the entire WNBA operates. From fan interest and television audiences to media attention and overall league visibility, her impact has forced teams and the league itself to think differently. In many ways, she's rewriting the blueprint for what success in the WNBA can look like.
Is the Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark. Did you know that the Fever has been involved in 3 of the 4 TV games that have garnered 1.3 million average viewers this season?
The numbers paint a picture that few people expected. They reveal a trend that has caught fans and analysts by surprise, highlighting just how dramatically the landscape has shifted.
Some of the numbers here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,035 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data from across the timeline. And Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of, like I said, of 17,035. Merchandise sales are up 450.
Let's take a closer look at Caitlin Clark's rookie campaign. This wasn't simply a season filled with solid performances or eye-catching statistics. She produced numbers that have historians, analysts, and longtime basketball fans taking notice. Her accomplishments weren't just impressive for a rookie. They placed her in conversations usually reserved for some of the game's most memorable seasons.
Are something. Because at the end of the day, with her WNBA rookie season complete, let's see it. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie.
Clark's postseason debut was one for the record books. She became the first rookie in WNBA history to record 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a playoff game, immediately establishing herself among the league's brightest young stars. Rather than simply adding her name to the record book, she raised the bar, delivering a performance that set a new benchmark for future rookies to chase.
Abundance of people that weren't looking at it that way at all. There are an abundance of people that have religiously respected the great talent that exists within the WNBA and the women who have done it. What has happened is that in America, you have somebody that's come along who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before.
Clark didn't just improve the Indiana Fever. She completely changed the trajectory of the franchise. In a remarkably short time, she helped transform a struggling team into a serious playoff contender and brought a level of attention the organization had never experienced before. So let's take a closer look at how one player managed to create such a massive impact.
But I'm not equating that, right? I'm just looking at what she has done far as just being a rookie, the viewership, the sales, all that shit that they didn't have before. You just look at the spike has been. It could have been 10 jersey sales this year, and if it was 100 the next year, it's you know what's gonna.
Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA has been impossible to ignore. Her explosive performances turned casual viewers into passionate fans and helped transform the Indiana Fever into one of the league's biggest attractions. Attendance, ratings, and overall excitement reached new heights because of the attention she brought. But her absence from the playoffs exposed a major challenge. The league cannot rely on one superstar alone. With fewer viewers, weaker playoff buzz, and empty seats becoming a concern, questions are being raised about whether the WNBA did enough to build around Clark's popularity and promote its other stars. The league now has a crucial opportunity. Instead of depending on one player, it must create stronger rivalries, develop new stars, improve marketing, and build long-term storylines that keep fans invested. Clark may have opened the door, But the future of women's basketball depends on how the WNBA uses this moment.